Now, in order for us to create the automated table of contents, we first need to identify which part of your document needs to be coming into that table of contents or the index. Okay, so I don't want anything from this page to appear, that is my cover page. I don't need anything from this title page to appear. The first component in your table of contents is always the acknowledgements when it comes to a report. So this is my first one. Whenever I want something to appear in an index automatically, I need to give it as heading 1 if it is the first, or if it is the main heading or the main chapter heading. Whenever you have a sub heading, it goes to heading 2. It's called as heading 2. And if it is another or sub heading, it will go on to heading 3. So right now acknowledgements doesn't have any subheading, it's only the main heading, hence it gets heading 1. In chapters like your introduction and all, you will have subheadings which will get heading 2 and so on. Okay, so here the first step is to first convert this or give this as heading 1. The moment you do heading 1, the font formatting has got changed, but that doesn't matter. We have to go through that step in the similar order. It begins first with selecting heading 1, go to your font, call it as Times New Roman. Your main chapter headings are always 16, hence I don't change anything. Make it black, make it bold, and I make it as center. Of course, it has to be all caps, which is already there. Otherwise, I could always go here and make it to uppercase. So it is already there. Okay. So that is my first chapter heading. Now let's quickly move on to the next part. You see this page has already got shifted. So let me just bring this up by pressing the delete key. Yeah. So now executive summary, again, it is in all caps, which is good. But before that, I need to first change this to heading 1. Okay. And same steps, quickly change the font, make this as 16, which is already there. Black, bold, it's already in all caps, so I don't make any changes. I put it in the center. Now, executive summary again doesn't have any subheadings, hence I don't make any changes. Okay, all these are in Times New Roman 12. I move this to the next page. Whenever I want to move something to the next page and I don't want it to shift, I just place the cursor here and I say Control Enter. So it won't move further anymore. Okay, here comes my chapter number 1. So what I do is, obviously every chapter has to be in a new page. So first I place my cursor here and I say Control Enter. So that has gone to the new page. Same thing. Now this is my chapter heading. I first give this as heading 1. So as soon as I do that, I change the font to Times New Roman. It's 16. It's black. It needs to be bold. Now this is not in uppercase, hence I will make it to uppercase and I'll bring it to the center. Okay. So this fulfills all the criteria for the chapter heading. Now my chapter subheading starts from this chapter. Okay. Before that, I have forgotten to give this a numbering. So what I do is I just go to this. This is my chapter 1. Hence I call this as chapter number 1. Just selecting. I don't manually write it, but I go to this feature which is very next to the bullets. It's called numbering. Okay, simply select this and I click on this. All right. Now, problem, purpose, scope, limitation, all these are my subheadings and I want them to appear in my table of contents. So I just make that heading 1, heading 2 to only those things which I want them to appear in my table of contents. Hence, note that in my executive summary, I don't want this to appear in my table of contents. Hence, there is no heading 1 given. It's still normal. Okay, so that's always the case. Whenever you want anything to appear in your table of contents, you change it to heading 1, 2, whatever. This can't be heading 1 because heading 1 is the chapter heading. So this becomes my heading 2. and of course it is Times New Roman. Subheading, the font size changes to 14. It is black, it is bold, doesn't go in uppercase, it is sentence case, which I'm okay with and I'm fine. All that I need to do is I need to give a numbering, which is 1.1. Okay, it's a multi-level numbering. It's not this numbering, but the very next to it. Can you see this multi-level list? So I click on this once and I select this third option here. Now the moment I do that, it still doesn't serve my purpose. I need 1.1. Hence I click on this feature once again and I go to this change list level, and I select my second option. There you go. So it has got 1.1. I'm not happy with this alignment. I just click on this. By the way, this ruler comes from this view. When you click on view, there is this option called as ruler. If this is unchecked, you got to check it so that you get to view this option. Okay. So, and I move this here. Okay. So, in fact, I can bring this to I'm happy with this. Okay, so the moment I'm done with this, I don't need to repeat this step again for purpose. All that I need to do is click on this format painter, and there you go. It will exactly do what you want for all these 4 things and whatever you want in that particular chapter. Okay, so that has taken care of the 1.1, the multi-level, as well as it is a heading 2. You can always look at this. See, it's heading 2. If I click on this, it's heading 2. If it's not in heading 2, it's not going to appear in your table of contents. So before we go to the next chapter, let's quickly see how to include or add that table of contents. Table of contents always comes after executive summary. So whichever is the last line of your executive summary, just click enter. Okay, just click enter. In fact, you can bring your spacing here. Okay, and what you do is, I don't take a new page, I just do it here and then I'll move it to the new page. Can you see this references? So click on references and say table of contents. Click on the first one, automatic table of contents, and there you go. Whatever we have given as heading 1 has appeared in the way it has to appear. Now, the moment I am done with this, I just say Control Enter and it takes its new page. Okay, so I can do this. So I can in fact go on adding, delete it whenever I don't want anything. Let's imagine I don't want the scope to be in the table of contents for some reason. I can go to scope and I can simply select this, go to my home tab. Instead of heading 2, I make it normal, but that's not what I want right now, but just to tell you. Okay, so similarly, I go to the next chapter is my literature review. I place my cursor there and just say Control Enter, so it takes a new page. So very first thing is, this is my chapter heading, hence it gets heading 1. Change it to black, change it to bold, go to Times New Roman, it is 16, and of course change it to uppercase, make it center aligned and give it a number. So next to bullets, I just click on this. Automatically it has got the number which is desired. Sometimes if the numbering is not appearing, all that I need to go over here and say set numbering value, and I can automatically change in case it doesn't come naturally. Okay. So now here I have got 3 subheadings over here. So what I do is, this is my first subheading. I make it to heading 2. I reduce the font to 14. So it is already bold, black and Times New Roman. Now what I do is I go to multi-level, because I don't want as 1, it has to, sorry, I don't want it as 2, it has to be 2.1. Click on multi-level, click on this option, doesn't give me what I want. Once again I click on this, I change the level to the second one. Still, this is not what I want. I need 2.1 because I'm in chapter number 2. Hence, once again I click, I go to this define new multi-level list, okay, and I manually go and change this to 2.1, okay. So there you go. I will just change this alignment like I did for the previous one. Yeah, and I do a format painter, so I don't have to take that same effort. There you go, 2.2, and this is my 2.3. So I've just done it for one and followed the format painter step. And if I go back, I click on this format painter, so that option goes away. I go back to my table of contents. I say update the entire table, and you see the chapter 2 has come there. So accordingly, I will do it for all my chapters. I hope that is pretty clear. So if you want, I can do one more for a quick one. But remember, every new chapter comes on a new page. So I do a control enter here. I select this, give it as heading 1, change it to black, change it to Times New Roman 16, bold, uppercase, center aligned, and give it the numbering as 2. See, it's become 2. I ideally need this as 3. So I go to this set numbering value, change it to 3, and there you go. Similarly, these are my subheadings. I give it as heading 2. It's black, bold. I reduce it to 14, Times New Roman, and I give it as multi-level numbering. Select this third option. This is not what I want. Hence, once again I select, I go to change list level. I say this option. Again, I want 3.1. Hence, you know now what to do. Define new multi-level list. I change this manually to 3.1, and there you go. Of course, not forgetting, I need to move this to okay. So format painter for the rest. I don't take that extra effort of doing it for everything. Yeah, that's all. I mean, obviously you will have many more pointers to that. Please go ahead and apply the format painter for the rest. And then it's time for me to go back to my table of contents, select this, update the entire table, and there you go. Once your entire table is done, what I would suggest is select all of this, and then that is only at the end, okay? Say Times New Roman, and you can increase it to 12. Yeah. So similarly, call this as contents, table of contents, whatever you want it. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah. So that's how you create an automated table of contents using heading 1, heading 2, and you've also learned how to use the automated numbering and multi-level numbering. Thank you.